Okay, here we are. Number 5, at beginning Python series number 5, we are talking functions. We're putting the fun back in functions. And I promise this time, I know I've lied to you a few times about being short. This time really is going to be short. We're not doing crazy stuff with functions. We're just getting our feet wet and learning how to organize our code in ways that make it a little bit more user-friendly, programmer-friendly, let's be honest. All right, so start with a blank thing again. All right, so what is a function? Okay, function is a block of code to do one job. And this is one of the nice things about organizing your code, is that you want your code to do one thing at a time, right? You want it to be very modular is the fancy word for it. So you want to have one chunk do one thing, right? And that way, if that one thing breaks, you know where to find it. So if I have one thing that I do over and over again, and I have it in the code over and over again, where did it break? Could have been anywhere. And now, with a small program that we're starting with here, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that big of a deal. But if you've ever seen even just a decent web page, just look at the complexity that is behind that. There is a monstrous amount of code to make some of these basic web apps that aren't even that complicated work. And if you are digging around looking for 700 lines of code, and you're looking for 1 or 2 errors, it's a needle in a haystack. It's a nightmare. So making your code modular is one of those things that makes it easier to maintain, fix, and eventually you're going to be handed code that somebody else wrote, and you're going to hand your code that you wrote to somebody else, and it just works better if you use functions. So when I need to do the thing that I need to do, I call the function that does it, rather than having it write the same code 2 or 3, 4 times, right? There's a saying, it's called stay dry. Keep your code dry. Don't repeat yourself. Okay. One of the things is that I want classes, when we get into class structure, I want it to do one thing. Functions are going to be the same way. I want it to do one thing, do it well. And then that's the one that does the thing, right? So, what are we talking about? So, let's start with, let's start with the basic thing we've already done before, getting user input. So I want to start with, I want to make a program where I take user input, I say hi, and then I ask them their name, and they tell me their name, and I say hi, nice to meet you, right? So I want to do that user input thing. Now, you wouldn't normally do it this way, but humor me. I'm just showing you. We want to define a function. So when I define a function, I actually use the keyword def, right? And you can see right there when I typed it in, I'll just back it up to say it again. Def function, right? This is letting you know, like, hey, this is a keyword to define a function. So we're going to define a function, and we're going to call it user input, right? I'm not going to take any parameters. Worry about that later. Okay, and then again, with Python, colon, everything that's indented is in the function, right? So we're just going to do a whole, you know what? I like user input. I don't like that one. Let's call it greeting. We'll call it the greeting, right? So we're going to have a function called greeting. Greeting will say, we will print hello, nice to meet you. Okay. Then it will say username equals input. Okay. What is your name? Okay, I like to put those in the next line. Don't forget to do that. Next line, that's that slash n, right? Username. And then say print using our f strings. Don't forget our f strings. Nice to meet you. Curly brace. Username. Curly brace. exclamation point. We're excited to meet them, right? Hit enter, hit enter. Okay. So now I've got this function called greeting. Okay. Run the program. Nothing happens. Why is that? Well, I've defined this function and I said, this is what I want to have happen when I call greeting. This is what I want to have happen when I call greeting. This is what I never called greeting. I defined the function. I said, this is what I want to have happen when I do this. I never told it to do it. So down here, you will say greeting, open and close parentheses. That's it. Now it'll call greeting. And here we go. Hello, nice to meet you. What is your name? Bob. Nice to meet you, Bob. Boom. Greeting did what it was supposed to do. Awesome. Looks fantastic. Did exactly what it's supposed to do. So then the next thing I want to do is I want to say, what do you want to do, Bob? Right? Let's be personable about it. Right? So we will say print F string. Going to use that F string. Right? What do you want to do today? Curly brace, name, username, sorry, username, curly brace. Let's see what happens. Hello, what is your name? Bob. Boom. Problem. What happened here? Most recent callback on line 7. Print F, what do you want to do? Username. Print F, what do you want to do today? Username. Username is not defined. Well, username's right up there in the function, right? Isn't it right there? Don't you see it? It's right there. But it's a local variable for the function. So, what I need to do here is I need to return username. Okay? So, username equals. Now let's try it. What is your name? Bob. Nice to meet you, Bob. What do you want to do today, Bob? See what happened? So I can actually run a function that stores the output in my variable here. That's pretty cool, right? So when I said return, what return does is it says, I'm going through whatever this is, and I want when this function runs, it's just going to give me back this one piece of information. One thing. You get one thing when you return from a function, whatever it is, right? That's what you get. Okay. So when I ran greeting the first time, I just ran it cold, right? And so there was no return. It just did what it needed to do, right? It ran. It said hello to Bob. It got Bob's name, but we lost that piece of information because we weren't able to transfer it. Okay, so there's local variables and global variables, and local variables exist only inside the function. It's a little tricky to get used to. You'll also notice that I have to define username twice, right? Because username globally, right here in line 7, is not the same as the username locally in there. Those are different. Those are two different usernames. It's kind of like saying a username with a capital U and a lowercase u. It's kind of like the same thing, where they're just different. They're different. They're occupying a different piece of memory. Okay, literally in the computer when these things are working, the global variables are stored here, the local variables are here, and then they disappear. They actually only exist when the function's running. So when we return username, we had to give that piece of information out back to you to gather that, and we had to store it somewhere so we had username equals greeting function. And then we took that return of the username when they told us his name is Bob, we stored it, and then we can use it now later. So now we have our username, we can use it anywhere, right? So it's a nice way to collect somebody's name, right? Pretty cool. All right. We could also use, we can use functions for a lot of different things. Basically, a lot of the stuff we've already been doing. I could create a function where I send my list to the function to be sorted and come back, which, it keeps, and the reason I do that is just keeps my my program clean down here. All right. So what do you want to have? What do you want to do today is probably not a great follow along to having that greeting be there. I would have like a separate section. So let's say, for instance, I've got, I want to make an ordering system for a restaurant, and I've got, first I need to ask for the entree. So that would be a function, one function that goes where they've got all my stuff, all my information up there, pulls all that information, gives me an entree, returns that one piece of information, their entree choice. That's it. That's the one thing it gives me back, right? Then I have them pick the sides. So there's a different function for determining their sides, and then it returns back to me that one value of the side they've chosen. Boom, right? Makes it a lot easier and a lot cleaner for the code when you go to mess with it later. So then if I need to change the sides options that are there, I only have to go to one place to do it. That is the sides function. That's where all that information is kind of hanging out. That's where the menu pops up. That's where they make those choices, right? Makes it a lot easier to keep things sectionalized so there's only one place for all that information. Okay? Just like for here, we have one place where we're going to greet and get their name, and that's the greeting function. All right? And we do that by calling define, and then after that, it's just do the things we would normally do. Remember, all the variables that are in here are local only, and the only thing we can get out of this is one piece of information at the return. So when we finish, we get one piece of information we can get back, which is why a function should only do one thing. My function can't do two things or three things or four things because I'm only going to get one piece of information out of it. Okay? So, make sense? They can take information in, though. All right, so when I define a function, let's get away from text here. We'll have a little fun. So I'm going to do define adding, right? Well, actually, there might already be a keyword for that. So I'm going to define add me, right? Just to be sure. And it's going to take two pieces of information. It's going to be num1 and it's going to be num2. So I'm going to require that they give me two pieces of information. Okay. Then inside of this function, I'm going to add those two together, right? So total equals num1 plus num2 return total. Okay, so what's going to happen? I'm going to take two arguments. They're going to be numbers, right? I'm going to add them. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to return it. Right? So just math. It's not that complicated, right? So I'm going to do add me. Well, print add me. And I'm going to have two numbers together. Let's say 32 and 44. Right? If I add 32 and 44 together, I get 76, right? So I get 76 as the end on my print. Everything should be right with the world. We run it, and 76. Ta-da! It works. Okay? Well, I didn't add me. That's awesome. What if I want another one? I want another one called subtract me. Okay? So now we're going to subtract. I'm going to take num1 and num2. Okay? You're sensing the trend. And I'm going to total equals num1 minus num2 return total. And again, because these are all local variables, I don't care what I call them. They only exist when this function's running. I can call them anything I want to. Okay. While we're here, def multiply me, mulp me, num2. Okay. Oh, oopsie. Didn't catch that one. Okay. And we got to put again, total equals num1 times num2 return total. And one more. Might as well do the fourth one. Define divide me. And we're going to take two arguments again. num1, num2, colon, total equals num1 divided by num2, return return total. Okay. So I've got print add me. Okay. And then I've got print multiply me. And I'll just use 2 and 12. Okay. I'm going to do sub me. So print sub me. All right. And those two numbers, I'm going to take the first one to subtract it from the other one because the order does matter with subtraction. So I'm going to say 50. And my second number is 5. So I'm going to take 5 away from 50, right? And I'm going to print, and I'm going to do divide me. And I'm going to do 50 and 5 again. 50 divided by 5, right? So we run it, and we have 76, and then 24, which is 2 times 12, right? And then 50 minus 5 is 45, and 50 divided by 5 is 10, and because there was division, it actually turned it into a decimal number for us. Okay? Awesome! Awesome! It did great. We just made a calculator. Right? All I have to do is take an input, make them choose. Do you want to add, subtract, multiply, divide? They pick one. Then I ask them for two inputs. Input 1, input 2. Send it during that. Why am I talking? Let's do this. Okay. Let's do this. So we're going to start with this. Let's do a while loop. You know what? This actually sounds like something you guys already know how to do, doesn't it? Taking inputs, and now you're calling a function with a couple of parameters. Maybe you can make your own calculator. Maybe that's what you're going to do tomorrow. All right. I think we got it, though. All right. It's the basics of functions. Nothing too terribly crazy. We've got the arguments. We can call a function with arguments, send pieces of information to it, let it manipulate it, give us back whatever it wants, right? We can have it returns one thing and one thing only, right? That's it. Those are functions, right? We just made a little calculator. 4 things. Yay. All right. Okay, so you got more projects coming up in functions.